fun. It's your time. And we dedicate this one to all our brothers and sisters who suffer at the hands of the enemy.
It's been a long time coming, but it finally came for Bud B to get his mother shine in the game. I put my work in the average.
All right, everybody, hello. We are just a few weeks away from Georgia football returning September 5th versus Tennessee State. Now, April 24th, 2026, the Georgia Bulldogs made a very disheartening and dirty mistake. They removed the voice of the Dogs, Scott Howard, from the Georgia radio broadcast. Today, I have a presentation for you. We will give 10 reasons why Scott Howard should be back on the Georgia radio for football and why he was done wrong by Josh Brooks, Alan Thomas, Learfield IMG, Georgia Bulldogs Sports Marketing, and the Georgia people were done wrong as well. So, give me a minute. Let me cut. I got it on right there. I'm going to walk around to make sure I do not mess up anything. And I will move my seat a little into the camera so you can see. Ugh. Hope everyone is having a good day. I am. Been excited to get this going for Scott. And we can bring him back. That's how it should be. So, we are here. You see 10 reasons why Georgia needs to bring back Scott Howard on Georgia Radio Football by me. So we're going to hit that page right there. We're going to hit the situation. For those who might have, and I quote, forgot the situation. On April 24th, longtime play-by-play announcer for Georgia, Scott Howard, was fired for no reason. Georgia still hasn't gave us a legitimate reason of why he was removed. Notice I put that in quotation marks. He didn't do anything wrong. A lot of fans care about Scott and want him back on the radio. You can see that everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, there are a lot of fans that want Scott back on the radio, and, well, it's not right for us that he was taken off. So, give me one moment, too. I'm going to cut another lamp on. There we go. I have another lamp on, so it ain't all dark in here. I wonder if it get messed up if I... Does the camera get messed up if I cut the light on? No. Okay, then we're gonna leave the light on. So, another thing, too, to add, and this is something I didn't know until a few months ago. They are censoring our comments about supporting Scott. They are removing our comments and or moving them to the spam section or labeling them as inappropriate and getting them completely removed for no reason. So you tell us you're going to make a change, a big change, and you know that people are going to be outraged about it. You did it dirty. You did it on a Friday afternoon where you knew it would be pushed aside so you could do it dirty, and then you get mad at us for speaking out for Scott, and you get mad for speaking the facts of the situation, and you remove our comments. That's not right. That's not right. We're going to hit that number 10. Eric Zier's number 10. I should have used a picture of Eric Zier for that, actually. We're going to go to number 10. The number 10 reason Scott Howard should be brought back on the Georgia Bulldogs radio network for the football broadcast. G-Day and a loss to Ole Miss shouldn't have been it. Scott Howard's final 2 games as the UGA football radio announcer was the 2026 Sugar Bowl, which Georgia lost to Ole Miss, and the 2026 Georgia Spring Game. He did not deserve his final 2 games for football to be a loss and a spring game. So let's go ahead and dissect this real quick. Who the frick cares about a spring game? Because y'all did him dirty. Y'all could have gave him one more season. If y'all are going to make a decision, it shouldn't have been after the spring game. It should have been either before the spring game, or you should have kept him for the 2026 season. But y'all didn't. And we know why. We'll get to that in a little bit. Y'all did him extremely dirty in his last regular season appearance was a heartbreaking loss to Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl. That's not how anybody should go out. You shouldn't be going out with no losses. Especially because Georgia was going to win the national championship this year. So you've screwed him completely of getting to call another national championship. It's not right that the spring game, of all games, the spring game was his final game. It's not right. It's not correct. It is dirty that happened. Let's go down to number 9. Rashad Jones' number. Number 9. What's the number 9 reason Scott Howard should be brought back? Influence from others. ESPN, SEC, and other Learfield teams has used Scott's highlights, and they sounded wonderful. They were completely great. They chose the right highlights to use at the time that they were going to be used. The 2024 SEC Championship between Georgia and Texas is an example for this. This move was done for no reason because he still had many great calls the last few years. That last part is true to the bone. 100% true. Go back last year, the Tennessee game, the Ole Miss game, the Chauncey Bowens run at Florida, the Texas game, the SEC Championship, even in the Sugar Bowl versus Ole Miss. Scott still had some great calls, and this is one of them. This is my version of the video synced with the ESPN feed, but ESPN actually did use it on the broadcast, just like CBS used to. Here's how that call sounded if I can get it to play. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and crank up that volume. And I do not believe it will let me play it. Yes. It will not let me play that call. So unfortunately, maybe we could get it to play right here. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, so I didn't know if I did not know if the video would play on it or not. But that's okay, we're going to get the call right here. We're going to get the call right here. Let me mute the computer for 1 second in case it tries to do something. I do not want any copyright strikes on this video. That's why there's no intro, there's no anything like that in this video. It's just straight. Alright, here we go. We're at play, we're at interview, we're at when the team rounds to the field, we're at where Texas players are crying, getting up. So let's see, can I share this as well? Okay, yeah, so you will not be able to hear the call. Well, I mean, I guess you hear it right here, but it ain't loud. You know what I could do? Give me one moment, guys. We're going back to our future presentation. We're going. Since this video will have my face in it anyway, I don't care. So here's the call from the Sugar Bowl. With the SEC 2024 SEC Championship.
ETN, the tailback, back under center. Hand it to ETN, straight ahead. Touchdown! Touchdown! Dogs are SEC champions! Dogs have won it!
So you tell me that there's something wrong with that call. And there's nothing wrong with that call. That was a great call. Top 10 greatest radio calls of the last 10 years. Just not Georgia. So now let's move to number 8. A.J. Green, one-handed catch versus Colorado. A.J. Green, we're moving to number 8 on this list. Number 8, he inspired me. He inspired me to become a radio announcer. You don't hear that a lot from a lot of people. You don't hear that a lot from people. He inspired me to become a radio announcer for Georgia. He did. Well, I'll read what it says first. I did not know what I wanted to do for many years. After listening to Scott and the gang for a few years. They all inspired me to cover Georgia Bulldogs and only the Georgia Bulldogs. No Falcons, no Hawks, no Georgia Southern Eagles, no any of these other teams. No any of these other teams. I'm trying to see why the camera here won't show the... Well, I guess because it's small. But anyway, no other teams. None of this, none of that. Georgia. And it stayed like that with Georgia for many, many years. And it still has. Even although they did a very hurtful decision by this, it has stayed Georgia and it will continue to be Georgia. Because there's no Georgia, there's no me there's no me in this industry. Excuse me. There's no me in this industry without Scott Howard, Eric Zier, Hondo, and the gang. So keep that in mind. Number 8. He inspired me to become a sports broadcaster. Number 7. That is Matthew Stafford's number 7 if you're asking. It is. I gotta see, can you read that on the screen? That's the whole point of this, is you can be able to read what I'm saying on the screen. Maybe I could push this up a little bit and lean that back a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Number 7. And this is where we're going to start standing a little bit. We're about to get to the real gritty of it that pisses me off. This kind of got back what we said the first time. If they were going to fire... If they were going to do what they were going to do, they could have done, they could have gave him one more season. And this goes back to completely of what I just said. He didn't deserve to be removed on a random Friday. He deserved more than this. He should have been given one more season. If that was the case, but in more proper terms, if that was the direction they were going to go in, they could have gave him one more season. And it was a very selfish decision. Very selfish decision. One of the most selfish things I have ever seen in my life. Remove somebody we all love for no reason. For a reason that would be explained in the end. Very selfish by Josh Brooks. Very selfish by Alan Thomas. Very selfish by Georgia and Learfield and everybody else who was involved in this situation. Selfish was the reason. We go to number 6. Number 6, Craig Lumpkin. Number 6. 30 years of work should have meant something to Georgia. Scott Howard had been working for Georgia Radio for over 30 years. 30 years. There's a great chance that some people that would be watching this video wasn't even born. I wasn't even born. My brother and sister weren't even born. My parents were probably in middle school. Larry Munson was able to go out on his own terms. Scott deserved that too, and I believe it was a personal attack on him and his family and the UGA faithful that he was not able to. And I stand by that. You do not make these kind of decisions without ill intent involved. Scott Howard was working for Georgia for over 30 years. And here's the first part. Larry Munson got to go out on his own terms. Rip Larry Munson. He's one of the greatest of all time. We miss him every single day. But Scott Howard has been working the same amount of time at this point Munson almost has. And he got removed for no reason. No reason at all. Also, we'll keep that in a minute. Very selfish decision again by Georgia. We now move to number 5. I cannot remember who number 5 I chose for that is, but we now move to number 5, although it kind of looks like a 2 on the TV, but no, we move to number 5. Number 5, he didn't even do anything wrong. He got fired for no reason. I'm going to stay silent for a minute. He got fired for no reason at all whatsoever. No reason. He got fired for no reason. The few reasons Georgia has said are completely wrong. This change was not made because a new era of broadcasting was needed. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. You fired Scott for a dude only a few years younger than him. That's BS. It was because people personally went out their way to make a point to remove him for no reason, and that's why he was removed, for absolutely no reason. He was removed for no reason other than for the reason of wanting to be removed. That whole, it's a new era of broadcasting. That, Alan Thomas, that is some bullshit. That's some bullshit, you boy. That's crap. He was not removed for a new era of broadcasting for a dude only a few years younger than him. Be fucking smart. I know you are. Y'all are not dumb. Y'all run a multi-million-dollar institution athletic program. Y'all are not dumb. That's some bullshit. You might as well come out and say it, that you fired him for no reason. Because, you know what? I would expect the truth. I would still be upset, but I would respect the truth. How y'all came out and said what actually happened. Instead, y'all are painting this as a change that was like, y'all are painting it as a change for the new era. Well, who the fuck's the new era? Who's the new era you're talking about? I'm trying to figure out. Who's the new era you're talking about? Because the new era I know didn't have nothing to do with firing Scott Howard. That's why it's bullshit. It was a tactic move that you and your comrades made personally to get him gone from here. We're going to go to number 4. That's my man James Cook. One of the best Georgia players of all time. Or no, I can't remember which number 4 I picked. But anyway, number 4. He was getting better as an announcer. I'm going to read this and then say what I have to say about it. And I got to add a few things to it. I'm going to move up right here so I can read it. It's very rare that an announcer gets better as they get older. But Scott was. He's had countless of great calls from 2023 to 2025. They took more years away from us being able to listen to him for football away from us. Now, let me go ahead and make a few things. Al Michaels. Al Michaels is a terrific broadcaster in my eyes. But Al Michaels can't call a game 30 years ago like he can now. It's very rare that broadcasters get better as they get older. That was the case for Scott Howard. He was getting better as an announcer. He was getting better as an announcer. Getting older. Last year, see, that's what y'all sound like some doo-doo heads. Y'all actually didn't listen to the radio broadcast last year. Instead, y'all sat around telling you what these insiders are telling you and about how bad it is, like the ones that got him removed, the insiders that work for certain companies that cover Georgia, that got him removed for no reason. Y'all sit here and listen to what they say because they're trying to protect the brand and get the boys in the radio broadcast. Instead of actually using your fucking ears and listening that Scott Howard was getting better as he continued to do broadcasting. We'll get to that second part in a minute. But he was getting better, man. He was getting better. And y'all took it and y'all stripped that from him. I didn't realize there was a video at the bottom. Yeah, he was getting better. You can't see that video, but you sure can hear it. Here's the call from the Ole Miss game this year. The final call.
From their own 35-yard line. Snap back. Chambliss to throw. Pass is batted up in the air. Incomplete. Court knocked it down at the line of scrimmage. Dogs are going to win the game.
What a call. I mean, that's a great call. That was a top 5 call of last season. It was great. And y'all took that from us. Let's go to number 3. My man Nate Frazier hit some of that. Can't wait for Nate to have a great season this year. But that's for the season preview show. Let's get to number 3. Here's the part that I don't know is for sure or not, so I don't want people coming after me if this is fake. But this is what I believe, personally. I believe this with all my heart. I truly believe it was an inside job from UGA. As heartbreaking it is, this was an inside job. People who didn't like Scott gathered around and made this very selfish decision. People who didn't like him and wanted him gone got to speak for people like me and my sister and my brother and my mom and our family members that loved listening to Scott Howard. It's not right, and I feel hurt that Josh Brooks, Alan Thomas, a guy I didn't mention, Ryan Grimble, who runs Georgia Blog Sports Marketing, Learfield, and 2 unnamed people who I will not name in this video because I don't want to really get in trouble, did this horrible decision, and I, along with many other people, am very hurt. We know that people at UGA has had it out for Scott since he got the broadcasting job. That's why you, Josh Brooks, you could have had backbone, bro. I would have gained so much respect for you had you took up for Scott. But instead, you're too busy about trying to move the Georgia-Florida game to Atlanta and move the Georgia-Florida game here and can't bring the fucking game to Athens like your fan base has been begging you to and has been begging every Georgia athletic director for the past 30 fucking years. Alan Thomas, I don't even know what the fuck he does for a living, but apparently it's fire Scott Howard because, well, he did something. And Learfield, I love Learfield. Learfield has been great. They are a great institution. They're a great company. And they always are spot on with everything. But why did they do this? Why did they do this? Why? Why? Why was this done? And 2 unnamed people who cover Georgia, that put the shot in. I'm not going to say their names. They put the shot in and did this. I'm hurt. I'm very hurt. The media's reaction is another way of telling you it was done dirty by the people who didn't like them. Or didn't like Scott, excuse me. And I mean no disrespect by it. Now let me stand while I say this. I'm going to stand. I got to move out right here in the image so I can get right here. Let me say this right here. I like Dog Nation. Brandon Adams is terrific. Mike Griffith is terrific. Connor Riley is terrific. Kaylee Manziel's terrific. This is not a shot at Dog Nation. And this is not a shot at On3 UGA Sports either. Because Rusty, I like Rusty. My man Harrison Reno, I hope you're watching, Harrison. I love you too. I listen to the Peach State Power Hour every week, bro. This is and Rabby Noble, he does great. He kind of has built UGA Sports to be this terrific, incredible platform. The people I named are not the people I'm talking about in this video. I'm going to go ahead and get that straight right here. Harrison, Mike Griffith, man, I know that y'all weren't involved in this decision. But any major Georgia Blogs media outlet couldn't take up for him. No article thanking him. No one was asking the real questions. No trying to take up for Scott. No one did anything. I am very disappointed in a lot of these media outlets. Online Athens, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, what I guess technically counts as Dog Nation, UGA Sports, On3, Anthony Dasher. Because Anthony Dasher played a role in this. I mean, he was flipping out articles like freaking Waffle House was flipping out fucking waffles about this. He wrote article after article talking about the new guy. Where's your article thanking Scott, Anthony Dasher? Where's your article thanking Scott for 30 fucking years of work. 30 plus. More than that, actually. I mean, he started with baseball in the 80s. Where's your article, Anthony? Where's your article? Where's your article trying to ask the real questions of why an innocent man who did nothing wrong was fired? So, I'm going to save it. No one took up for Scott. Let's go to this next slide and tell you people who did. It ain't no media members. People who took up for Scott Howard. Okay, you got me. I did. Not no Anthony Dasher or no other people. Me. I did. My family. My mom loved listening to Scott. My brother loved listening to Scott. My little sister loved listening to Scott Howard. We listened to games while we're in there playing Mario Party. 75% of my followers on Twitter. Now, this is where we're going to get a little dirty right here. There's a lot of my followers as well that didn't have the balls to admit it was done wrong. They didn't have the balls to admit. They're not on the same level where I am. Because I said from day one it was wrong. But then you got people that follow me posting aura in the fucking video. Like, yeah, buddy, it's aura. Innocent man Scott Howard got fired for no fucking reason. I'm happy you think that's good. People who watch my YouTube channel, all my YouTube subscribers, Tater Mater, Punisher Man, all these people that have subscribed and watched my YouTube channel and watched me build this Scott Howard vault, took up for Scott. And Skinny Dog 10. God bless Skinny Dog 10. He was the only person that I saw that actually told Josh Brooks if they pushed out Scott Howard, they should be ashamed. And you're right, Skinny, they should be ashamed. So, Skinny Dog 10, thank you. Thank you to my mom and sister and brother for being supportive. Thank you to 75% of my followers. They won't admit it in public. People who watch my YouTube channel, my commenters, the people who comment on every video, thank you. And thank you to Skinny Dog 10, because not only did you see right here, this is like proving if you're real or not. It proved that the people have backbone. They're real. I want to thank all my friends in the SEC Hoop group chat too. Because every single one of them has had to hear about this since it happened. Because I have to vent to somebody about it. It's not right. I should have put them on there too, but I forgot. So, SEC Hoops group chat, thank you. Thank you to my mom and sister and brother. And thank you to a lot of my followers. Now, and when I say 75% of my followers, I don't mean Mississippi State, Arkansas, Kentucky. I mean followers of Georgia. So 75%, most of my followers are Georgia anyway, but like, and these people had it out for Scott too. So I'm not shocked, but Skinny Dog 10, thank you, Skinny Dog 10. Thank you. Thank you for taking up for Scott Howard when nobody else in this fan base would. Let's go to number 2. That's Kendall Milton. Loved watching him play at Georgia. Now this is going to be controversial, okay? As my screen's froze. This is going to be controversial. And I'm sorry. I feel like Georgia did this to stop me. Or I feel like Georgia did this to me on purpose to stop making my videos. I'll explain. As unfortunate as it is, I feel like Georgia didn't like me making videos about Scott. My videos always average thousands and thousands of views, and I love to enjoy making them. They have taken something from me that I will never get over, and it hurts very bad. I almost feel like they were jealous. So let's go ahead and... I've stopped this for a minute. Sorry, guys. Back. My disc was starting to get slow on storage. So, anyway. I think Georgia was jealous of the videos I make. Now, let me explain myself with this. I started making Georgia radio videos in 2023. I started way before that, but 2023 on YouTube. Again, my old YouTube account in 2020 had Georgia videos on it, but the whole channel was deleted. So, okay? 2024, I posted a Clemson game with Scott and Eric. Blows up. I post every game from 2024 to now with the radio. Blows up. Completely blows up. You can't tell me that Georgia wasn't aware of my channel because I already knew they were aware of my channel. Maybe not Josh Brooks. Maybe not Alan Thomas, but somebody at Georgia was aware of my fucking YouTube channel. So what do? They say, we can't have this kid get more views than we do, so let's take the root of the problem away, so he won't do it no more. And that's exactly what happened. They took Scott Howard away from me and us, so they could have the views to themselves. You don't have to worry about people making videos no more. They did it for glory. They did it for glory. And the boys, to protect the boys, to get Josh Brooks' favorite people in the broadcast booth, instead of not who the fans wanted. Selfish. Y'all took something from me that I will never get back. I won't. I will never have the same interest in radio again. I will never see Georgia the same again. Now, obviously, I still love the program. That's not what I'm saying. But, like, the business side of this sucks. And y'all should be ashamed of yourself for doing this. How dead is my Chromebook? 20%. Okay, we only got one more slide left, so it'll be okay. Let's go to reason number 1. Give it a second, guys. It's not loaded again. Give us. There it goes. This change was unnecessary, and we miss him. I miss him. I miss him very much. This has been a very hurtful offseason. I don't think Georgia realized how much of a hurtful impact this has had. There are people that won't even listen no more. I'm one of them. We are terribly hurt, and I don't trust anyone at Georgia that much anymore, except shout out people who are helping me get my old games. I ain't talking bad about y'all because y'all ain't done nothing. They have taken a very beloved voice away from us, so all the higher-ups can get the boys in, their favorites in the broadcast booth. Hurt is not the right word. I feel very devastated. Scott Howard deserves so much better than this. I hope the situation should prove to other teams that you should care about the fans and not make decisions based off the selfish desires of people in the athletic department, as in athletic directors, donors. Well, donors don't really count in this decision, but people in athletic directors and people involved. It's very troubling that Georgia did this, and I hope they realize they did Scott wrong and change it back one day. Let me get right here and show the last slide. This is powerful crap right here, guys. Not crap, excuse me. This is powerful stuff. I saw a Bible verse that has helped me with this situation. Proverbs 17:15. And it says, "He who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the righteous are both an abomination to Father, God." He who justifies the wicked and he who condemns the righteous are an abomination to God. That fits this situation very perfect. Let me explain why. This verse captures the exact pattern of what I feel Georgia did. Someone good, like Scott, was treated like he was in the wrong, and someone less deserving was treated like they were right. Leadership flipped the moral. God calls that reversal an abomination, meaning deeply offensive and morally backwards and completely unacceptable. Here's what this means. A good man was pushed aside for selfish desires. A loyal servant was being a servant, that's not right, but somebody who worked there for Georgia over 30 years was treated wrong. A decision that didn't reflect the character history. Georgia has never pushed out radio announcers. In a system that has chose politics and the boys over Scott Howard. That has helped me a lot. What they have done was very evil and satanic. And God will help me and all of us achieve our goal of bringing back Scott Howard for football. God has always done good. God is good. Good is God. And I thank Him for blessing me when being able to listen to Scott Howard for so many years, and will continue to listen to the old games I have. Georgia, Josh Brooks, Learfield, everybody else. Evil never wins at the end of the day. Because there's like some demon possession or something going on in there. It's evil. It is evil. It's evil. It's evil. It's evil. Y'all fired y'all did something evil. God cares about everything, even something small like this. That's what's so great about God, because He cares about it. And He cares that y'all did something dirty and evil to Scott. And it wasn't right. And this is my final message in this video. To Scott Howard, thank you for all the things you've done for me and all your years for working with the radio. I miss you very much, and I promise, as long as I have all these social media accounts, I will not stop talking and standing up for what has happened. I love you very dearly. Thank you for inspiring me to become an announcer for UGA2. I want to be just like you, and I miss you on football. I hope Georgia undoes this decision and bring you back. Thank you, Scott Howard. Let's give a round. Since no media member had the balls to do it, let's give a round of applause for Scott Howard. Nobody had balls. This man. I've changed the page. Actually, hold on a second. That's a very terrible quality picture. But this man right here, I love this man more than I love half my family. And that's legit. He did nothing wrong. He was kicked out and punished for no reason other than for a reason of wanting to kick somebody out. So that pretty much ends this. I thank you all for watching very much. This was something very creative, and I hope this makes a point. Now, I know I was a lot, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for name calling, and I'm sorry for everything that I said that might have been offensive. But he was done wrong for no reason other than the fans weren't involved with this decision. The fans didn't matter in this decision. They proved it. They proved it was done wrong because they're avoiding talking about it. Like, they won't tell us why Scott was removed. That's really all you need to know. It was done dirty. It was untrustful. They removed a beloved figure so they can get Josh Brooks's and Alan Thomas's favorite people in the broadcast booth, which hurts because Greg McGarity wouldn't let this happen, and people don't like Greg McGarity. Now, what you say about Greg McGarity is David Evans hired Scott, but Greg McGarity kept him around, and he deserved that job that you took from him, Josh Brooks. You took this job from Scott Howard, who did nothing wrong. Also, you could please the boys. That's not how the college athletics should work. That is not how college athletics should work. It's disgusting that you did it. And Learfield and Alan Thomas and nobody, the media members, You know what? Let's recycle that page real quick. And the media members who didn't have the balls to make an article thanking Scott Howard for his time and asking the most important question of why. Why was he fired? Why did you do it? He didn't do nothing wrong. Why did you do it? None of these people had the balls to ask Scott Howard, or not had the balls to ask the media. The media did not have the balls to ask anybody the real questions of why Scott Howard was fired. And that's very hurtful. So that's how we're going to end this video. If you're watching, I appreciate it so much. I love Georgia Bulldogs. I love Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network. And I only want the best for the radio network. But I can't support people who fire an innocent man and our favorite announcer and my favorite announcer for no reason, all to maybe look better to people. You know what I mean? Like, look better for people, donors, to act like you did something good. Buddy, you didn't do nothing good. You fired an innocent man who did nothing. You fired a dude that was universally loved, that Larry Munson also wanted in the broadcast booth. Don't be reading that bullshit people be saying about how Larry Munson said blah blah. Larry Munson said this and that. Larry Munson said in his book, in one of the very last pages, that he loves Scott Howard and he has done a great job, and he wanted him in the broadcast booth. I have both copies of the book. I have the hardback with the CD, and I have the paperback book, the expanded edition after he passed away. And it's just wrong to be putting words in people's mouth. So don't listen to no BS story about that. He did nothing wrong, and he deserves to be back as broadcaster. I've had a realization it might not happen this season, but maybe it could happen next season. We could bring him back. So thank you all for watching. Go Dogs. Thank you, Scott Howard, for everything. This ain't the last PowerPoint we have. Our next PowerPoint is going to be top 10 favorite Georgia quarterbacks. This is starting to become a regular thing on this channel. So I hope you enjoyed it. Bring back Scott Howard if you know what's right for you, Georgia. You've lost a lot of fans. You're selfish. This is a selfish decision, and we hope you overturn it. Bye-bye, Go Dogs. God bless, and Go Dogs.